What's up, internet world? Today is May 24th, 5/24. It is Sunday. It is week 10. It is the Fight the Rona video blog. Today is Memorial Day, Memorial Day weekend. So there's no work tomorrow, but I mean, we all work from home. So how much work is there, really? But we do have a lot coming up this week. So first of all, we have the EDM Fest, Summertime Gladness with EDM Madness Festival with yours truly as the MC. I'm pretty stoked about that. It's going to be a lot of work, mainly on the part of our brave captains, Edwin, RJ, Angie, and some of the technical people. Those guys are beasts. I'm going to be an MC, like I mentioned, so tune in. Come listen to me introduce some fools. I don't know what I'm going to do background-wise, outfit-wise, but it should be a good time. Yeah, so big picture. Honestly, I haven't really been paying attention. There's like a slow motion World War III going on, battle of trade, battle of ideas. There's like attacks on Asians, like all the same old stuff. And yeah, I mean, I try to stay positive about it, make sure we all, at least for myself, try to spread a message of like cooperation and peace, cooperation, that kind of thing. And of course, I protect myself whenever I go outside. Small picture though, I've been going outside more carefully. This weekend I went on 2 bike rides, one today, one yesterday. It was fucking dope. I've been doing sprints Tuesdays and Thursdays. My times have regressed actually since before, but I think it's because I've been increasing the intensity of my workouts on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I think my body is like a little fucked up from the workouts and like not as able to dominate the sprints. The new gym that I built in our extra bedroom is dope, and I really love working out there. It's awesome to have a space where where you can like move freely in every direction. Like you can see here, the space is a little tight, but in that home gym, I'm just like, and yeah, I had an awesome Catterday yesterday, reading Dune, which is a sick book. The King James Bible, the book of St. John. That if you read the first couple verses of that book, you will see that it is written by somebody who was like deeply, deeply moved by something that he experienced. This is a dude who saw some shit. He explicitly says something to the effect of, like, in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word came from the light, and the light was separate from the darkness, and the darkness knew it not. It's like, whoa, dude, what are you saying? But it was awesome, like flipping through that, spending time in my sunny bedroom, hanging out with my cats, and then it topped it off with like a beautiful outdoor bike ride, just like in the afternoon sun. There's actually like a really beautiful street down K-Town, San Marino, behind where I live, and it is awesome. Like clean, nice new buildings, green vegetation, not too much garbage, not really any homeless people. There's like a nice park there where people were hanging out, maintaining like a careful distance from each other, but hanging out, enjoying the outdoors. I fucking miss being able to see people. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy my life at home too, and honestly, given the choice between being quarantined and having to go to the office every day, I'll take a fucking quarantine. Thank you very much. But I miss raves, I miss seeing my friends, I miss it would be awesome to be able to go and take bikes out together and go someplace. Yeah. All this biking though has like re-aggravated my knee kind of acts up when I bike. This left knee. So I think what an issue is like there's like a tight left hip flexor. So I'm gonna try and deal with that. And lastly, I wanted to respond to my boy Oz, who in his recent weekly cast, he had some really interesting things to say about masculinity and confidence. To briefly sum up what he said, at least as best as I remember, he kind of was talking about how masculinity is like, to be a man, to be like masculine, there's this idea that you have to be confident. And as he was elaborating this idea, he started talking like, oh, well, does that mean you have to be confident all the time? And if you are not confident at a particular time, does that mean that you're not a confident person? And thereby, does that make you not a man? And, especially as a young man growing up, often you get these ideas and they're kind of like blurry, low resolution, kind of simplistic ideas. So it's very natural to have this idea that you need to have like rock solid, unshakable confidence in everything. And I don't think that's the case. And this is in agreement with you, Oz. Confidence ultimately comes from competence. And confidence to be confident in one thing doesn't necessarily, or to be confident in your value as a person does not necessarily imply that you will be confident in everything that you do. He made the great example of like, if it's your first time riding a motorcycle, you maybe shouldn't be that confident. Maybe a little bit of insecurity is justified. But that doesn't mean that you should be insecure about your value as a human being or as a masculine individual. And also, he made the very good point that what is described as confidence is a willingness to be uncomfortable, like a willingness to step into an uncomfortable situation, to be in that tension. That's one of the forms of confidence that he arrived at. And also, of course, he mentioned that confidence is competence. And I just wanted to say that, like, that feeling of like the willingness to be uncomfortable, that willingness to like to step into a place or a situation where that's like awkward or difficult, dude, what you're talking about is courage. And courage, that's like one of the manliest of virtues. Courage, loyalty, duty. That's like the fundamental masculine, manly shit. And of course, I don't mean that in any kind of like negative way. There's some ideas, there's some talk going on where like the idea of masculinity itself is kind of under fire. And in some ways it should be, because there is a sense of like a man never cries and never goes to a therapist, or like the idea that a man never needs to ask for help. And I don't think that's healthy. Like, to be a man to admit weakness, to like allow yourself to be vulnerable and to request help when you need it, that requires courage. Actually, it's the fear of it's an insecurity itself. It's fear. It's cowardice that prevents you from asking for help and prevents you from showing emotion. So like the quote unquote toxic masculinity that we see, it's really a form of like almost like reactionary masculinity. It's like a kind of bravado that is used to cover up fear and insecurity. It's not like the real deal. So yeah, I really enjoyed watching that video, Oz, and I love watching your casts every week. Look forward to them every single week. So yeah, this coming week it's going to be a busy one. Got a lot of stuff coming up. It's crazy how like things were so chill at first when this quarantine happened, but then of course life picked back up. And even though there's nothing to do and no place to go, I'm still fucking busy. But I guess that's the life I chose, right? Like the origin of this busyness isn't the world around, it's myself. Like something about me always like fills stuff up with busyness. But to help with that, I got this dope panda planner. I don't actually know if it's gonna help or not, because like planning stuff causes me to do more things and like have a busier schedule. When I'm not planning, then I physically don't have the capacity, or that's mentally don't have the capacity to fill my day with that much stuff. So life ain't easy, but it's nice to be able to like have things in your to get a grip on things. And I've been what I enjoyed about this panda planner, and at first I'd heard about it for a while, and I had mostly been using digital means as opposed to like a physical book. But lately I got this panda planner in paper. I got the King James Bible in paper. I've been getting lots of books in paper, specifically to get away from like all this digitalness. Digital stuff is convenient because it's easy to carry, it's powerful, and you can hold a lot of stuff in a few tools, a few small lightweight tools. But the trouble is, with digital things, they're nebulous, like a digital thing is not anything specifically. It has the ability to be everything. So when you have like this amorphous thing in your hand, it lacks definiteness. It lacks, because it can be anything, it's easy for you to just like fall into the lowest, easiest, it's easy for it to be like whatever is the path of least resistance for you. So for example, when you're planning on your computer, it's easy to like check your Facebook, go browsing this or that. But when you're physically looking at a thing, then those other distractions, that like those other brain grooves, those other like habits, they don't have a chance to rear their heads. You can just cut a new groove using the tool that's in your hands. I once heard somebody write, or I once heard somebody say in writing that besides the head, the most human thing is the hand. Because of course, like the head is what we use to dream and think, and like the mouth is what we use to speak. But it's the hands that allow us to physically impact the world around us. And especially in our digital age, we spend a lot of time up here in our heads, like thinking things, doing mental things. Most of our work is done with our minds. And it's nice to have something physical in your hands to do something with. In the same way that, like, I guess similarly, it's nice to be able to speak to someone with your voice as opposed to like sending them words, like written words. Language is intuitive. Language is God-given. That's innate to humans. But writing is a technology. So we're always going to be a little bit removed from each other in written communication. It's never going to be quite as good as verbal communication. So similar to my trying to like get away from digital stuff to get more physical things, I'm also trying to spend more time communicating with people via voice as opposed to via like written, like text words. That being said, I still don't love being on Zoom calls for too long. I love you guys. I like hanging out with you. But I think about an hour on Zoom is as much as I can do. Anyways, cool. I hope that's it for this week. I hope you liked catching up with me. Maybe I'm thinking over the course of the next couple of weeks I might do more talk on like abstract things and less on like concrete stuff that I'm doing, updates on my life. Let me know what you think, and of course I love to hear from you. Please keep making your videos. In this time I miss you guys and I want to hang out with you. I want to see what's up. So make those videos, put them up. Let's keep this thing rolling. Stay safe. Protect yourself at all times. Be good. Later, skaters.